Chapter 2. The Kingdom to Come.
What's up YouTube, Fuzz here, welcome to episode 3 of our No Kuni II complete 100% platinum walkthrough. So hopefully these videos have been a help to you. If they are, please don't forget to support me by hitting the like button and subscribing to my YouTube channel. And we're going to start today right at the very beginning of chapter 2, which is exactly where we left off at the end of the previous episode. So we'll get through these cutscenes here. A lot of them are unvoiced, unfortunately. There's a lot of dialogue to get through. One of the disappointing things about No Kuni II for me is the distinct lack of voice acting. There is a lot of it in cutscenes and stuff, but a lot of cutscenes on the other hand don't have it either. So we just have to deal with that. The game itself is still a lot of fun. It just brings the overall presentation down just a touch in my opinion.
Not exactly. Hmm.
Oakenheart, Kingmaker of Ding Dong Dell, has recognized me as the rightful ruler of this realm. I stand before you, your new king!
Huh?
Hmm.
And at this point we're going to regain control of our party, and it is actually going to become a party at this point, despite there still only being 2 of us in the group. As you can see by the little tutorial here, we can now access the party menu and switch leaders as well. And later on I'm going to show you a really easy way that you can switch between your current party members. So you can go ahead and save if need be, but there's an interesting thing on the floor over here, this shiny blue thing you can see. And we're going to get a cutscene explaining it to us. It's called a trapdoor, and it's basically No Kuni II's fast travel system.
Huh?
So think of it as like a waypoint or waystone system. Once you've activated it, it's forever, added onto your save file. And then as you discover more of these trapdoors later on, you can teleport between them on a whim whenever you want to move around the world.
Huh.
Yes.
Okay, so there's two ways you can access this particular feature, and we can't really use it yet because it's the only waypoint that we have. We do need to just go ahead and select on it first, just to add it to our list, and then it will disappear. But what we can do then, is, and it just gives us a tutorial actually on how to do this, is if you click the options button, that will bring up your local area map, as you know. But you can then click the options button again while you're on the local area map, and that will bring up the world map, known as the trapdoor map, and you'll be able to access all your various trapdoors that you've unlocked up until that point. Now, there's also another way you can actually access this without having to go through the local map first, and it's really simple. All you have to do there, as I just did, is hold the options button down, and it will automatically bring that world map up then without having to go through that local map. When you're ready then, cross that red line that we couldn't cross earlier, and for the first time we'll access the world map. And the world map works a little bit differently than the dungeons and the other areas in the world. First thing you're going to notice is that it's obviously from a different perspective, or a top-down perspective, and your character's models have been replaced with these chibi models. But apart from that, the controls are pretty much the same. Enemies you can see on the map, however, unlike in the world, each enemy that you see represents a group of enemies, and once you engage them in combat by running up to them, you'll actually enter the combat screen, a different screen than the world map itself, and you'll have to fight however many enemies spawn. In the same way as the rest of the world though, you can access treasure chests and shiny loot objects and everything else, so it is worth exploring.
I'll do my best.
And as with other enemies, you can see how strong an enemy is going to be before you actually engage it in combat. And I did mention this in the last episode, but just to clarify, you can see their level and the colour of the text that their level is written in. So white means around your level, quite standard difficulty. Blue is easy, so under level. And red means that the enemy is much stronger than you are, so be careful. Now, just because they're red doesn't mean you can't take them out. It just means you need to be a little bit more cautious. Though some enemies that might be like 40 levels ahead of you, you couldn't take them out because they're just too strong, will also be red. So when they're red, just pay attention to their level as well to make sure that you do want to initiate combat. And we can see there's a treasure chest there to grab. One thing to note as well is that you can save on the world map. You don't have to access a save point, which is obviously helpful. And you do want to gain a few levels while you're exploring the world map as well. Otherwise you're going to fall behind the enemies, especially in the next area. They do start to go up to like level 7 and 8. So what you want to do is also just explore for treasures as well as killing enemies. And for example, if I head up here, there's going to be another treasure chest with a cloak that Evan can use to replace his current cloak. Even though he's only just got it, there's already an upgrade coming up. And don't forget, you can also use Evan's spells in combat as well, by holding the R2 button down if you're playing with a PS4 controller, and then using either triangle, circle, square or X in order to unleash a spell that you want to unleash. And again, you can replenish his MP by attacking physically. You can also charge the spell by holding the button down before you cast it, but just bear in mind that that will cost more MP as well. Now, items that are dropped after battle, you have a second or so to collect them, but don't worry if you don't, they will actually appear on the world map as well. So you can continue to pick them up afterwards. So we can see the treasure chest just located up here, and this contains the choppy old cloak. So this is an upgrade for Evan. You're probably going to want to equip it on him immediately, in fact, as soon as you've gone ahead and grabbed it out of the chest here. And now at this point, what you're going to want to do is just basically note the objective marker on the map, because ultimately that's where we need to get to. But the whole area before there, we need to explore. So we can just run around collecting treasures, we can go ahead, kill enemies, make sure we level up, etc, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and speed the video up at this point, while I explore this area. And overall, what I'm trying to do at this point is just head over to the east. So I'll be collecting treasures and that as we go, obviously, and just killing the enemies. And just be wary that some of the enemies will be higher level than the others. You don't want to go ahead and absolutely, you know, get taken by surprise because they are higher level than you. So eventually you're going to see this house in the distance over here. And there's actually a story section that's involved with this particular area. So we're going to head close to it. That's going to kick off some cutscenes and eventually have a new feature introduced to us.
What did I ever do to rotten devil of a thing, you!
Evan, come on.
Before we actually access the new feature itself, we just get a battle against a flying enemy. And we just get some information here, some text telling us how it is that we can handle it. And there's various ways. Obviously, we've got our ranged weapons. In particular, Roland uses his gun, so you can switch to him and start shooting at something when it's flying in the air. That's going to help bring it down. What's-his-face, Evan, can cast spells, since they have ranged on them as well. But also, you can actually just jump into the air, depending on how high the creature is. With this creature, for example, we can just jump into the air and start hacking away at it with our melee weapon. And that is also going to bring it down. But in all honesty, as you can see, it's already on the ground when I start fighting it. So I never really have to try and bring it down from the air in this instance, which is interesting. But we're about to unlock the new feature now as well.
It's coming back! Gosh! What in the...
Oi, you two! You can see my little lovelies, can't you? Why not have them lend you a hand?
Okay, so here's where we get to meet the Higgledies, and this is a tremendous feature of No Kuni II. There's no familiar system in this game as there was in the first game, so we needed something to replace that, and this is what we've got. So Higgledies are little creatures. They like to gather up in groups, and there's over 100 different kinds of them, and each kind generally does something different in battle. So you can have Higgledies that just deal flat out damage, you can have Higgledies that heal, Higgledies that buff your party members, that debuff enemies, you can even have Higgledies that help you outside of battle. So there's all different kinds of Higgledies, and you can see that they're going to help us fight, just generally as the battle goes on. But they'll also from time to time glow with a circle around them, and that will allow us to go up and activate a special ability that that particular group of Higgledies will unleash. So they're going to really help us out throughout the course of No Kuni II, throughout all the different kinds of battles. So it's a good idea just to explore this feature, maybe do some reading up on it if you want to know more about them. In this case, these Higgledies unleash a wave of cannon attacks against the enemy, and as you can see, took care of that guy quite quickly.
Oh my.
So there we have it then, we've met the Higgledies. There's still a lot more information, as I say, to be gained about them, and it's going to take some practice to get used to just how we actually use them in battle, so don't worry too much about that at the moment. Just keep at it, and you'll eventually get the hang of the whole system. So now that we know who Aunty is, we're going to just go into her house, say hello to her, and all her little friends.
Get the plates. Pass it gently. Yes. Good. Gentle. Do you pass another one now? Thanks ever so much. Oi! Oh!
Huh?
Well now. Certainly.
Thank you.
Okay, so the Higgledies will actually be joining us now. We're going to recruit our first Higgledy. This is Constable the Righteous. Says he's decided to join us on our adventure. So that's nice, isn't it? And when you get that text, by the way, guys, on the left-hand side, you can hit the L3 button or whatever it is on the PC if you're playing on that system in order to get more information. I didn't do so in this case, but I did want to point that out while it was there on the screen. So you can chat to some of these guys. They basically speak in Higgledy language. And when you're ready to move on, we're going to just go ahead and exit the house. Back outside, then it's important to grab the next trapdoor. And there will be multiple ones located around the area, which is obviously really helpful so that we can port all over the place later on. And up on the top of the mountain up there, you might see like a dragon. That guy is level 50, and you want to avoid him at the moment at all costs, because he will make mincemeat of your party if you attempt to take him on. Now, I'm sure there's some pro player out there that's going to prove me wrong and show that, yes, you can defeat that guy at low level. But I'm just going to advise you ignore it, and then we'll come back later, and we should be able to make mincemeat out of him once we're more powerful. And you can also see some of the other enemies are also increasing in their levels, but this is a good opportunity to take them on if you're able, in order to gain some extra experience and level up a little bit faster. And for now, we're going to continue heading towards the objective, but also just exploring the other areas of the map. So we're just going to continue on opening the loot boxes, the treasures, and so forth. Now, that dragon I've told you to avoid, there is actually a treasure chest that's located just behind him, and it is possible to access that treasure chest before you actually, engage him in combat, so you can avoid him while still getting it. What I would advise, though, since you can save anywhere, is just doing so before attempting to get that treasure. And of course, once you've saved, you can also actually go ahead and try and tackle that guy just for a bit of fun if you want, so you can see what kind of challenge you'll be up against. But as I say, just make sure you save first. And just to clarify how you save on the world map, open the main menu and then hit the options button. You can see down there where it says system menu, and then you have your save, load and options buttons ready for your convenience. So just another tip for you to help you on your way there. And now that I've saved, we can jump up here, sneak past this guy. Just make sure he's got his back to you. If he's looking at you, he's going to chase after you, because he'll hear or see that you're there, rather. And we get a burning ring, which isn't that great, but once again, we need to just wait until this guy's back's turned and sneak past him once more. Just to clarify, if he is looking your way, as you can see, he does chase after you. And he is quite fast, so I was fortunate enough to be able to avoid him there, but you might not be, so as I say, just save before you do anything and be cautious as you go. And once again, I'm just going to speed up here as I continue to explore the map. And before we actually get to our destination, there's one more thing I'd like to show you, and that's a cave we can enter. Now, we can't actually do the main thing there, but there is actually some loot we can go and grab, so it is worth still heading in. It's only a small place as well, so just continue to head over the bridge and up to the northeast, and you'll see the entrance. So to actually enter the cave, all you have to do is just approach it. You don't have to press a button or anything, you'll automatically go inside. Now, there are enemies located in the cave, but then there's only one group really, and they're not that challenging. So as you can see, they're already white to us because I've been levelling up and that going around the world map. So we'll take care of these, and there's lots of shinies on the floor as well we can pick up as we go. I think I don't need to show you this battle, so we'll just skip ahead at this point. Okay, so grab the shinies. This is the one treasure chest that's located in this dungeon. It contains a brand new wand, and it is an upgrade for Evan, so you're going to want to go ahead and equip it on him pretty much immediately. And the other thing you'll want to do, perhaps, is just use the save points up here. This will heal you up, restore your MP. And there's a few other sparklies around that area. There's a door in the centre, but you can't do anything with that at the moment. So the main thing is the treasure chest. Once you've grabbed it, we can go ahead and exit. And you can either continue exploring this area of the world map, or we can go straight ahead now to the objective marker in order to proceed with the quest. So there's plenty more treasures to grab, and you can, either, as I say, either grab them now by exploring, or come back a little bit later if you want to, that's no problem. Just try and make sure you've gained a few levels before you actually do reach the objective marker over here, since this is going to put us into a brand new area. and the enemies are slightly tougher than they are outside. And it's going to be a new environment for us as well. As you can see already, it's Cloud Coil Canyon, sorry, and it's quite a sandy area, quite a drab area. Still a cool environment, just very different than what we've seen so far.
Uh-huh.
And the first thing you're going to see is another save point. So on that note, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and finish this episode off here. We'll continue on next time. So thanks for stopping by and joining me. If you've enjoyed watching, once again, please don't forget to leave a like and come back and see us again soon. Hopefully we'll be live streaming going forward as well, so make sure you stop by and check those out as well. Maybe come and say hello to me and everybody else in chat as well. Alright guys, take care.